I have finished collating the Stellaron data and records. Do you wish to proceed, outsiders? Requesting database materials cache, serial number 13175. Encryption level, highest. Request approved. Transmission.
This is the fruit of many years of research, Madam Guardian. The evidence is irrefutable. This so-called Stellaron is the source of all the destruction.
The people will struggle to accept this conclusion, Doctor. If we were to tell them that the almighty Elisa Rand activated this thing and triggered the eternal freeze...
It's the truth, madam. The truth won't change with the opinions of the people. The reports before you are the precious result of painstaking effort on the part of Belobog's greatest scholars. You must trust the weight of its conclusion.
I have never doubted you, Doctor. On the contrary, I am resolute in the face of this conclusion. From the moment I took up this mantle, that voice, their voice, has made its home in my mind. I cannot shake them. I shouldn't be telling you this. Let's return to your research, Doctor. I'm afraid I cannot make these reports known to the public, unless...
Unless what? Please, proceed, madam.
Unless you have found a way to completely destroy the Stellaron.
I understand. In the name of preservation, I will fulfill this mission.
Cache number 13175. Transmission complete. Next transmission. Cache number 24830.
I don't understand, Doctor. Why do we have to hide such valuable research results away? They're the work of a lifetime.
You're still young, child. There will come a day when you do understand. The Supreme Guardian, she sees further than you or I. All the decisions are for the security of Belobog.
I just think it's a shame. Our research has hit an obstacle. Meanwhile, your results will be buried in the snow.
Don't be upset, child. You still have lots of time ahead of you. When you find a way to destroy the Stellaron, our efforts will have been worth it.
Cache number 24830. Transmission complete. Next transmission. Cache number 57614.
Why is there a robot here?
During his life, this was Dr. Mearsheimer's personal robot bodyguard. I heard it's a prototype from the Great War. Since the doctor and his assistants passed away, it's remained here. It hasn't moved an inch.
Oh, I see. Let's start. We must unearth the doctor's research conclusions. All of them.
Madam Guardian, I've found them. All the documents are here.
Good. That'll do.
Madam Guardian, what should we do with the robot?
It would seem a great waste to destroy it. Find someone to reset its system, and then arrange for it to be sent to the underworld. I hear that the development group is in need of a robot with defense capabilities.
Yes, madam.
I'm sorry, Doctor, but these results must be taken care of by the architects. One day, somebody will be able to carry out your behest.
Cache number 57614. Transmission complete. Concluding data transmission.
So, the truth is clear now, right?
And it would appear that they never succeeded. Now only one question remains. Why would Kokolia exhibit such a sudden change in her attitude towards us?
Branya? Are you okay? I'm fine. I feel a little faint. Why, Mother? Maybe she wasn't aware. Maybe she...
I'm sorry. It's no use lying to yourself, Branya. It's time for you to make a decision.
Hey, can I have a word with you? I know that we'll need time to process this new information, but we have to decide on our next plan as soon as possible. The furnace core. The path to the surface is close at hand now. Thank you. What you've done has brought new hope to the underworld. Now, we have to wait and see. But maybe this will lead to a new lease on life. Well, you should really be thanking Sampo. If it weren't for his intel, we wouldn't have made it in time. As Wildfire's leader, I couldn't simply look on while you fought on our behalf. We had to come help.
Huh? Huh? So you're the real chief? What about Oleg?
Oleg has always acted on my behalf. He helps me deal with all manner of problems in the underworld. Thanks to him, I'm able to make time for the people. I do my best to make sure that they have everything they need. At the same time, I was formulating a plan to deal with Svarog. Your arrival unraveled that carefully crafted yet rudimentary plan. And for that, you have my utmost thanks. When the underworld recovers its freedom, the people will indeed extol you as heroes. However, even though Svarog is no longer sealing off the furnace core, there's no way that we undergrounders could go pouring onto the surface. That cold-blooded Supreme Guardian has used lies and tricks to keep the surface separated from the underground. If she detects any change in the underworld, I don't know what she might resort to. As for Wildfire, we need more time to build up our strength. No, but we need to wait for the opportune moment. In the meantime, I'm sending someone I trust to go with you.
Zila.
Didn't she tell you? In private, she insisted on accompanying you. Don't let her carefree nature fool you. She's actually very discerning and can read a situation like no one else. Zila is a talented scout and a quick thinker. She takes decisive action. She'll definitely be able to help you. Not to mention, you also have Branya now. You're right. But with Zila by her side, I know she'll recover. Hey, when's the last time you got some rest? I heard that you've been on your feet looking for Svarog since Rivet Town. Health is everything. You won't be much use if you neglect yours. Let Wildfire take care of the furnace core for now. You head back and recuperate. If you're lucky, perhaps tomorrow you can return to the overworld.
Equilibrium. The universe should be in equilibrium. The arbiters of the equilibrium are giving you a trial. For the equilibrium of all worlds, you must demonstrate your strength. The strong will be given greater opportunities. The weak, a chance to breathe. Passing the trial will prove that your strength has shaken the scales of power. Worlds will change, and thus, equilibrium. You will encounter stronger enemies, harder puzzles, and greater rewards. After equilibrium, you will go on to face yet more trials. You will obtain more of the material, more of the spiritual, more of the countable, more of the immeasurable. What is obtained will be in proportion to your strength, and thus in equilibrium. It is your choice to make. But in the end, equilibrium will be upheld. Equilibrium. It is for this that all worlds change.
Well, now that we're done with that whole situation in the underworld, we can finally look for the Stellaron. But thinking about it, I feel a bit bad about Clara. We promised her that our talks with Svarog would go peacefully.
You tried your best to persuade him. It's my fault for not preparing better for such a situation in advance.
I didn't mean for you guys to start beating yourselves up over it. Look on the bright side. Things turned out all right, didn't they? Now everyone knows that the real problem here is the Stellaron, and they're willing to help us out. All in all, the mission is going super smoothly.
But we still have a lot left to figure out. For instance... Exactly. We don't even have the Stellaron's coordinates and location. Cocolia's sudden change in attitude is also very curious. We still haven't put all of the pieces together. Dreams?
Oh, I remember you mentioned something about strange dreams before.
All three dreams were the same, with Cocolia and that other voice.
It would be weird to call it a coincidence.
I'm wondering if these dreams aren't just random, if there's some meaning behind them. Maybe you're having them because...
Because of the Stellaron inside her?
That's my hunch, but I have no proof.
Well, then that's as good as nothing for now. So, what should we do when we get back above ground? After all this talk, we're still back at square one.
We solve a puzzle one piece at a time. Let's get some rest. We'll talk to Wildfire tomorrow and get to the bottom of this. Also, there's still one more key character we haven't talked to yet. Her connection to Cocolia may be the key to cracking this mystery.
Welcome to the Gerda Grand Hotel. You're back. I've heard from Wildfire that you helped resolve that whole situation with Svarog. Amazing. It must have been exhausting. Please have some food and get a good night's rest.
Choice isn't as elusive as it may appear.
Over there. See that? That used to be the worst street in Rivet Town. And it's also where I grew up. My friends and I used to wander those streets, thinking about where to find our next meal. That is, until Chief Oleg got me out and took me to the orphanage. There, I learned to read and write from Natasha. At the age of 10, I started to patrol the mines with Oleg, occasionally getting into fights with the local thugs.
That sounds nice.
Nice? You being sarcastic with me?
Oh, no, sorry. Life in the underworld is difficult. I shouldn't be speaking about it so lightly.
You're always so serious. It really gets on people's nerves sometimes, you know?
Right. What I meant was... I kind of envy you, Zila. For as long as I can remember, my days have been an endless cycle of studying, etiquette lessons, and training. Every day, all I hear is, "Remember who you are, Bronya. This is against the Architect's admonishments, Bronya. Ladies shouldn't use such foul language, Bronya." Some may envy this kind of life, but I have felt trapped. When every choice and every goal has already been made for you. You probably can't imagine how that feels.
No, I can't. But more importantly, what kind of foul language were you using?
In the name of the Architects, I shall stick this spear into your nostril.
That's it? Oh, that's nothing. Looks like I'll have to teach you some underworld slang before you go back.
No. No, that won't be necessary.
It'll be better than poking people's nostrils, at least. I never thought that I'd be here having a heart-to-heart with the future Guardian. As a kid, I didn't meet many people who lived in the overworld. I only heard stories from the grown-ups and figured you were all just a bunch of cold snobs.
I've heard from some Silvermane veterans that before the orders were made to seal off the underworld from the overworld, there was no difference between the two places. Everybody ate the same food, chatted about the same topics, celebrated the same festivals. Even though times are different now, things like the joys and sorrows of life, the ties between people, these precious things must certainly still connect us all. If there is a way to bridge the gap between the two worlds, we can definitely go back to the time when you and I were not divided, when we could stand side by side against the Eternal Freeze and the Fragmentum.
I'm not like you. I don't have that many grand plans for the future. But if that's the future you want, I'm willing to build this bridge with you.
Thank you, Zila. Your trust is very important to me.
Speaking of which, what are you going to do next? What Svarog revealed must have made quite an impact, huh?
Yes. I thought I was prepared for anything, but... as long as I am the Guardian's successor, those truths will come out sooner or later. But why does my mother hide it from me? And why does she want me to hunt down the outsiders who know about the nature of the Stellaron? It just... it doesn't make sense. I thought it over. There's only one thing I can do. Go ask her directly.
You... hold on. You're not really going, are you? Alone? You can't. This plan is...
I've already thought it through, Zila. I am Madame Cocolia's daughter. That will never change. Be it my duties as her heir or as a Silvermane guard, I must face my problems head-on. Even if...
Bronya.
This is for you, Zila. Please help me pass it on to the outsiders. If I am unable to see you again, they'll know what to do.
Okay, I understand. You've made up your mind, and there's nothing I can say that will change it. But remember this. If you run into trouble, I will come to save you, no matter what.
Then I'll be waiting for you. So, did you come to this spot when you were a child?
Of course. I just didn't appreciate how nice it was at the time. Very nice.
was a good sleep. I should go meet up with March and Dan Hung.
Took you long enough, sleepyhead. We've been waiting all day. I've noticed that our sleep routines don't match up. You either keep getting up in the middle of the night or snoozing away until the day's almost out. Unacceptable. You gotta work on your teamwork.
Did you have a dream again last night?
Huh, that's weird. I bet the conductor won, right?
Well then, let's go find Wildfire to discuss our next move and see if they have any new discoveries.
Let's go! I can't wait to finally get back above ground!
Oh, look who's here.
It's the Bane of Svarog, the big hero of the underworld. And the other big heroes, Dan Hung and March 7th.
Were those lines rehearsed?
Where's Natasha? Is she here?
She has a bunch of other things to attend to, so I hope you don't mind talking to this old man instead. I speak on behalf of Natasha. By the way, sorry for keeping that whole thing about her being the actual leader of Wildfire a secret. I'm glad you don't mind. Natasha is always cautious, but she has no ill intent, as you surely have noticed. She told me to make sure you return to the overworld safely. I gave it some thought, and I think the safest way is to ask this fella for help.
I brought you down. I can take you back up. Free of charge. Satisfaction guaranteed.
There's no need to knock us out this time, right?
Of course not. This time, we'll go back through the furnace core. That would be problematic and dangerous. Trust me, we should go through the furnace core.
Ugh, enough chatter. Just be a good guide.
Hold on. What about Branya? Why isn't she here?
She already went back. As you know, she has some things to settle with the Supreme Guardian.
What? She just ditched us and went back? How could you let her?
Exactly. She has a lot of responsibilities. I don't completely understand, but I trust that she's trying to solve the problem. Oh, right. Branya told me to give you this.
She left us a letter. Could this be one of those open in case of emergency letters? I've never gotten one of those before. Should we wait until we run into something dangerous?
Stop overthinking and just open it.
Brother and sister Landau. I know the brother must refer to Japard, but who could the sister be? Oh, Serval! So she's Japard's older sister.
She gave it some good thought. But whatever's going on in that Supreme Guardian's head, even Branya might have trouble understanding. Sampo, do you know the Landau siblings?
Landau? Yeah, we're all friends. I've mostly dealt with the younger brother in the past, but the sister? She's much scarier. Today's supposed to be a day of celebration, so let's not talk about it right now. We can set out at any time. Just come find me when you're ready.
Are you hurt? Let me take a look. You came at a good time. There is something you can help me with. According to my patient records, there are a few that haven't come for their follow-up visits. It happens from time to time, but never as regularly as this. I'm a bit concerned. Have you heard of the Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society? Generally speaking, mutual aid societies like these allow patients to share their experiences and support each other. It's a way of countering all the negative emotional effects of being ill. But there might be more to this society than that. I've got a few patients who have started refusing treatment since joining the society. It certainly makes you wonder. The most suspicious part is that no matter how much I ask, no one's ever willing to tell me anything about it. And that's where you might be able to help. It sounds dangerous, but what I want you to do is actually very simple. Investigate this so-called mutual aid society and find out what exactly they're up to. If I find out they're preventing me from doing my job, or if they're bringing harm to my patients, I won't just sit on the sidelines. Can I entrust you with this task? You're as considerate as always. This little clinic has huge numbers of patients to deal with every day. If I didn't have you here to help me out, I wouldn't be able to focus on giving them quality care. Good luck. I'll be sure to thank you properly when you're back.
You. I've seen you in the clinic. You run errands for Natasha, right? Your cover? What are you talking about? Let me guess. Natasha wants you to persuade me to go back for a follow-up visit, right? What's the use? I'm terminal. Life will be over before I know it. Of course not. I read it in a book. Every book I read has descriptions that match my symptoms exactly. I can diagnose myself with a dozen incurable diseases before I get halfway through. For people in my situation, a follow-up visit is just a waste of time and money. Not to mention medicine. What else is there to say? Natasha was seeing me free of charge. She said I could keep a tab running for as long as I liked, then pay it back when I had the opportunity. I guess I'm too proud. You think I need you to tell me? Don't try and persuade me. I've already thought this through. Dr. Vash never charged me anything either. Natasha's great, but Vash was always my number one. Natasha's brother, they both used to practice medicine back in Rivertown. I heard he was a top student from the Overworld Medical Academy. Bellabog's main hospital wanted him. I have no idea what convinced him to set up down here. A kind heart, maybe. What do you mean? Dr. Vash was a people's doctor. He handed out free medicine. He even followed up with detailed questions on how he felt. The underworld is always short on medical resources. They say that Dr. Vash made all his own medicine himself. You think I don't want to? I heard that he passed away. I should keep my voice down. Don't go telling anyone else about this next bit. I heard that Natasha had something to do with Dr. Vash's death. They say she was jealous that her brother had stolen her patients, so she... It's just something people were saying. I don't think Dr. Natasha could do something like that. Forget I said anything. Since Dr. Natasha sent you over specially, I'll do her a favor. I'll go to the clinic for my follow-up a little later. Bye for now.
Avoiding a follow-up visit due to money issues. I should find another patient to talk to.
Where have you been?
What was that? Oh, you'll have to be louder. My ears aren't what they used to be. Oh, everything's muffled. Ah! A follow-up visit. Is that what you're asking about? Natasha's a wonderful girl. She always gives me a thorough checkup. But at this age, it's rather a lot to bear. Well, even if they could cure me, I'm sure I wouldn't be around for long. I don't want to waste anyone's time. Not for youngsters like yourself. When you get to my time of life, good health is a bit of a luxury, I'm afraid. My husband had the same illness as me, but he never touched the medicine. He wanted to make sure I had enough. Then, one day, he said he needed to take care of some things at the mine. He never came back. He was forever saying he wanted to go before I did. Ah, selfish old fool. I miss him. Now that he's gone, who cares how long I stick around? Do you think so? Wouldn't he want me to hurry up and join him? Kids today don't give up easily. Okay, you win. It's off for another follow-up visit with Dr. Natasha, I suppose. Did you want to say something else? My ears are terrible. Virtual who? All right, I heard you. Do you have to shout? No, I've never heard of any mutual aid society.
Where have you been?
Avoiding a follow-up visit due to her husband. I should find another patient to talk to.
Why haven't I gone for my follow-up visit? Are you a patient too, or did Dr. Natasha send you over? Who else would care about people like me? I don't need Dr. Natasha's help now. Tell her to save her worries and medicine for other people. A dispute? No. She's the only kind-hearted doctor in the underworld. I just don't really approve of her methods, that's all. Too idealistic and no real efficacy. She tries to save everyone, which means she can't save anyone. In the end, it's the patients who suffer, and she just tires herself out. Miners like me don't have time for lengthy treatments. If I can't take something and get right back to work, I may as well lie down and wait for death to come knocking. Did you, know Dr. Vash? His wonder medicine is cheap, and the results are immediate. You just need to, be willing to, take a little risk. Dr. Vash's medicine is different. Lots of people make a full recovery after taking it, but some get worse, and the unlucky ones check out early. Even knowing the risk, most people fight tooth and nail to get hold of the medicine. You know why? You've clearly never been in really dire straits. When life forces you to the edge, you'll throw yourself at any opportunity, even if it means risking it all. For people like us, a slow and torturous treatment is the same as a death sentence. If it's between that and a quick result, we'll take the latter. Forget it. Why am I telling you all this? Dr. Vash is dead anyway. What? Now you're interested in the wonder medicine? Listen up. The Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society is still selling that medicine. I can tell you where they trade, but there's a rule. You must not tell any of this to Dr. Natasha, you hear? If you break the rule, you'll face the consequences. Here, take this. It's the address. A final warning. Do not reveal this information to Natasha.
I know where to find the wonder medicine. What should I do next? That patient didn't want me to tell Natasha about this. Should I listen to him?
Are you hurt? Let me take a look. So the Mutual Aid Society found Vash's research results, and now they're selling this so-called wonder medicine to patients? Any organization doing something like this is interested in more than just mutual aid. I'm not surprised. They'll know that I'm completely against them using this wonder medicine. What Vash left behind is nothing more than reagents and experimental byproducts. The word medicine doesn't apply here. I warned the patients countless times, but seems like they had their heads in the sand all along. No wonder they kept the Mutual Aid Society a secret from me. Thank you. Those patients weren't exactly singing my praises. Thank you for having faith in me. If you're curious about Vash's wonder medicine, you should ask some of the patients in the clinic. See what they have to say about the effects.
Some people say that Dr. Vash was a saint who came from the overworld to help those in need. I don't buy it. People's doctor, that's just what people who've bought into the myth like to say. Vash used to distribute free medicine all the time, but he couldn't have cared less about the people taking the medicine. The hard truth is that we were just his test subjects. It didn't matter if the medicine worked or not. What mattered was having a constant stream of willing lab rats. Of course, I can't control what anyone else thinks. That's just how I see it.
The medicine Vash left behind? That stuff... Can you even call it medicine? I know Dr. Natasha's here, but I have to tell it like it is. Vash had zero medical ethics. He didn't deserve the title doctor. He may have had the capability, but he didn't use it to help anyone. Whenever I went to see him, he never even asked about my illness. He just prescribed me his so-called wonder medicine. If it were you, would you have taken that medicine?
Well, are you hurt? Let me take a look. I still haven't worked out how to convey it to you. The issues surrounding Vash. My relationship with him. The things he's done in the underworld. It's a long story. I'm guessing you've heard a lot of different opinions on Vash. What do you make of him? I want you to go and visit another patient, a victim of the wonder medicine. I want you to see the real consequences of abusing that medicine. Once you've understood her situation, come back and tell me what you think. After that, I want to ask for your help again.
Who are you? Who? And who am I? Where's my husband? And where's my child? Where are they? You know where they are, right? You don't know. They don't know. Nobody knows. Where? Where did they go?
Come over here, child. It's best to leave that poor lady in peace. Let me explain. That poor lady. Both her husband and child became ill and passed away. Oh, not terribly serious, but they needed to get treatment every now and then. which did impact their livelihood. In order to try and rid themselves of the ailment once and for all, they bought some kind of wonder medicine. Who would have thought their condition would deteriorate so rapidly after they began using it? The two began to suffer terribly, such that death then became a blessing. It wasn't long before they departed this world, one after the other. From that moment on, she became as you see her now. If Dr. Natasha hadn't taken her under her wing, well, it doesn't bear thinking about. And yet, what more could have been done? They were warned about the medicine. They were told about the risks. And they chose to roll the dice. Talking about it tires me out. At least my husband and I are able to help her where we can. I just hope that one day she can lead a normal life again.
Are you hurt? Let me take a look. Did you speak to her? By the look on your face, I'm assuming you've come to understand the wonder medicine all too well. Be it Vash or the Mutual Aid Society, forces like that can take full advantage of the typical underworld state of mind. Let me tell you a story. There was once a brilliant overworld doctor with unmatched pharmaceutical skill. The doctor was set on developing a medicine that would steel the human body against the cold. He named his research project Blizzard Immunity. But his research met with obstruction time and time again, the biggest factor being a lack of test subjects. Tampering with the human immune system carries huge risk, and nobody in the overworld was willing to submit themselves to such experiments. As such, the doctor got in touch with his sister in the underworld, claiming that he wanted to support the medical effort below ground. Naturally, his sister was overjoyed. After all, as far as medicine was concerned, her brother had always been the standard she'd strived to attain. She brought her brother underground and entrusted him with her clinic and laboratory. I think you know what comes next. Issuing free medicine to the needy was just Vash's way of conducting experiments on his test subjects. On some level, his reagents were able to alleviate the patient's suffering, but nothing more. They would forget their pain for a while and neglect their regular treatment plans. The result? Patients with mild illness would attribute their recovery to the so-called wonder medicine, while patients with serious illness would quickly deteriorate, and sometimes die. I cannot accept that their fate was simply the result of misfortune or risk. No true doctor would accept that. That's why I want you to help me recover all the wonder medicine. Are you willing to take on this assignment? Thank you. This will be hard for the people that have come to rely on the wonder medicine, but it's up to us to remove this false hope. You mustn't hesitate. Recover every last reagent that Vash left behind. I'll take responsibility for the consequences. Don't worry about that. Go. I'll be waiting for the good news.